people who invest in apartment buildings, but I don't do it personally. I'm kind of, you know, single-family homes is my comfort zone, and I just never really got out of that. All right, well, you know what? Let me see here. Even though Josham is not completely on yet, we're gonna go ahead and start with. Actually, he's about to get on right now, so I guess we'll wait 1 minute here. I see him logged in already. Bobby asked, Tim, how long do I have to invest in Kent's buyers program? You know, I guess there's no deadline there. You can invest in that program anytime you're ready for it. All right, well, let's start with, let me see here. Ted asked, is tonight when you're going to teach how to buy with no money? Sort of, I guess. Tonight we're talking about private lenders, which is, you know, raising money. And on Thursday I will talk about different ways to structure deals, whether you're going to, you know, close with a private lender or not. And so I guess it's a combination of tonight and Thursday. And tonight we're talking about, we're talking about private lenders, meaning it's you know, it's not your money, but it's someone else's money. Okay, everybody. Well, looks like our recording just got started, and so welcome to today's Virtual REO Investing Riches training session. And so let's start out with this, because we need to find out who our winner is for the 6 months mentoring program with me. And so let's start out by, if you can share with us, number one, how much private money have you raised? And number two, how many REO listing agents have you talked to? So one, how much money have you raised? And number two, how many REO listing agents have you talked to? Okay, you guys got it? So let's start with that. Alan got 480,000 and talked to 12 people. Okay, let me see. Gene got 40,000 and 18 agents. Okay. Okay, got 315,000. How many agents there? Okay, got 34 REO listing agents. Wow, that's good. Okay. Gene raised 25,000 but spoken to 19 agents. Okay. Who else? Nam got about 450,000. And let me put this here. About 450,000 talk to agents, but they are not REO listing agents. No, they have to be REO listing agents. Okay. Edwin asked, so if we're having a little challenge obtaining private money lenders using traditional funding will be the only way. Well, that will be your next way. It's not the only way, but like I said, having access to private money is going to make your life a whole lot easier. A lot easier than transactional funding lenders, but I guess if you have to use that, then you will have to use that for now. Okay. Crystal talked to a total of 9 REO agents and got raised 350,000. Julie got to 1 million and spoke to 8 listing agents. How are we going to decide on who's winning here? There's no clear winner of someone who raised a lot of money and talked to a lot of agents. Okay. Anyone else? These are really good numbers, y'all. I like it a lot. Good job. Congratulations on all of you who participated here. Let me see who. Let me see. Alan is 480 and 12 agents. Let me see here. 1 million and 8 agents. Crystal is 350,000 and 9 agents. Gosh, it's not a clear winner. Let me think here. Okay. Talk to 34 listing agents. That's a lot, dude. Man, that's awesome. Okay. How are we going to decide the winners, y'all? Sherry Goulet said, I would say the one that raised the most money. Dollar times agents. Dollar times agents. That's not a bad idea, I guess. That would mean that Julie probably won because 1 million times 8, that's 8 million. Let me do, RK, which is 315,000 times 34. Let me see what that number comes out to be. 315 times 34. 10 million. Oh, wow. Okay. So RK is probably the winner. Let me try to do Alan here. Well, who else? 480 times 12. That's 5.7 million. Okay. Carlos said he got 800 private lending, 12 cash buyers equals $1 million, and 16 IO listing agents. All right, you could be the winner. Let me see, 800 times 16, 12,800,000. Yep. Carlo, look like you're gonna be a winner for us. Anyone else? This is good. Thanks, Danny, for making that suggestion. Dollars times agents. That's a really good idea. It's an easy way to figure that out. Anyone else? Okay, if no one else make a claim, it looks like we have our winner here. And our winner here, congratulations, Carla Rodriguez, for raising $800,000 in private money and talk to 16 REO agents as well as 12 cash buyers. That's awesome, Carla. You are going to have a lot of success with this program for sure. And thank you so much for taking action and implement what you learned here. Awesome, Carlo. Good job, buddy. Okay. Let me let me congratulate all of you for taking action. Even if you did not win the mentorship program, the good news is this: because of the action that you took, the momentum has started to kick in for you. And so now all you have to do is implement that. Implement what you're learning from. Implement what you're learning from me today, and so that way you can, get into action. Get into action and start doing these deals, okay? And so, congratulations to all of you for that. And for those of you who did not win, I am going to let you know about the mentorship program that I've decided to open up for probably a couple, yeah, a dozen of you or so here, and I'll let you know more about that later on in the training. Okay. Okay. All right. So congratulations. You guys did a really, really good job. Venus asked, Tim, do you think it would be a good idea to have a blog for our group to share info on how they got private money and how they found REO agents and cash buyers? Well, what we can try to do is we can try to unmute them and they can share some of that ideas. I guess we can do that right now before we start if you guys want. So let's we'll start with Carla. Carla, do you have your mic, buddy? If not, if you don't have your mic, then please switch over to telephone mode and call in for us.
Oh.
Carla, are you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, how are you?
You can hear me?
Yes, I can
hear
wow.
you. That's great. That's great. I wasn't sure. I thought I was going to have to call in. Wow, this is amazing. I'm so excited. This is just, I wasn't expecting to win. There was so many, other people doing so well with the numbers, but, like you said, they're really all winners because they wouldn't have gone out there and gotten to the point where they've gotten, without this competition that you put in front of them. So I'm really excited.
Right.
It's been awesome. Speaking to agents, is a little bit new to me, and then trying to find out, who the REO agents were. I was able to get some MLS access, and it was pretty easy to find, who the REO agents were, obviously by their listings, and it was just amazing, to actually get listings actually, come in also, and
that's awesome.
Just yeah. So
that's good. Well,
I
congratulations.
lost track of where we. Thank you. I'm just so excited. This is going to be awesome.
That's good.
Wow.
So let's start with this. Can you share with everybody where you're from, city and state?
Yes, I'm in New York. I'm on Long Island, which is the suburb to the city. It's actually about 20-30 minutes from the Big Apple, from Manhattan. So it's not far, but yet it's it's a lot more homes and not so many skyscrapers. So it's yeah, they say we're on Long Island, but they say Lawn Island. But anyway, it's great here. Yeah, it's very nice. And
that's awesome. Yeah, so I think a lot of them are curious about how and where did you find the private lenders? So we'll start with that.
Yeah, well, it was really a combination of like the REIA meetings that I had gone to, over the last a couple of months, and cards that I've collected, and it just started making phone calls and talking to people. I was already getting cards out to people. I had business cards for real estate, and they knew that what I was doing, but I never asked would you be willing to invest? So I actually only two of the people came from the REIA meetings, but one of them was a family member for about 50 grand, and I'm gonna try. You know, if that goes good, I could probably get a little bit more there. But I had other numbers that I didn't actually add into the mix because you know they need to see, I guess, to see how it would work and you know
Right.
how what kind of return they really would get before they put more in. Uh,
That's
but
good.
you know, it was just yeah, it was just talking to everybody I know and letting them know. Um, just from the information you gave me, the script uh, that I used, you know, just made it really easy because I didn't have to really think too hard on how, you know, on what I was going to say to them. So it was
Right.
pretty simple, and yeah, you know, it's straightforward, and you get a yes or a no, or I'll think about it, or I'll let you know, and then you know what? It was actually the follow-ups that did it really, because you know, the first reaction is like, oh, interesting, you know, but not necessarily, you know, gung ho to get on board, except for a couple of them. Uh, but you know, the next
That's
reaction,
good.
you know, yeah, the follow up is really what did it.
Right. That's good. Good to know that. Yeah, follow up is always good in your business. So what about the listing agents? How did you find them and how did you start contacting them?
Yeah, the listing agents, I got all from the MLS, and about three of them, I actually, you know, ran across knew someone who they knew, which was pretty funny. It's you know it's such a small world, right? And um,
Right.
my sister, yeah, and and then my sister also actually you know knew one agent, so I was able to call them you know right at home and find out. So that one was almost a freebie, I guess, but that was pretty cool that she knew someone who you know was an REO agent that has actual listings. Um, so most of it was you know getting onto the MLS and getting their contact information. I did send out emails. I made some phone calls, and then ultimately the emails led to phone calls because the emails read something like, you know, when is a good time that we can speak, you know, something along those lines. And eventually, I still
Right.
have actually about four or actually about seven more agents that I have to speak to within the next couple of days, I guess, that are on, you know, the
That's
callback list.
right.
Yeah,
That's
and
good. Good for you. All right, and then so what about the cash buyers? You mentioned you talked to 12 cash buyers. Where did you find them?
yes, the cash buyers, actually, I was able to get, you know, onto do deals, um, and do some research there, but also
Good.
these these cash buyers also online. Craigslist ads. I started posting some Craigslist ads for private lenders also actually, and one of the private lenders came from a Craigslist ad. Also
Oh,
the
good.
cash, yeah, and the cash buyers also. I put ads out for uh, property, you know, property for sale, cheap, cash only. Uh, and then
Right.
that was actually
Good for you.
one I got. Yeah, and so that's the way I got the cash buyers. Now the cash buyers, I actually have one guy who's really doing commercials, but he's I didn't add him to the list of the cash buyers um, because it's not an exact number, but he'd be willing to do anything that's below 50%. And I don't come across those that often. You may, but I have. You know, but you know what? This may be a whole new venture now because this guy will buy anything under 50 cents on the dollar. he doesn't want to buy anything
I
above
see.
that, but including repairs too. So those are, I believe, a lot tougher to come across.
Right,
But
right.
I'm sure we can get any deals that that are pretty good across to him, see what he says.
Right.
So I have
But yeah, I mean,
one guy which,
not. Go ahead.
yeah, one of the cash buyers is buying, he's buying he buys a home, he's flipping them. He's looking specifically for like two multifamilies, at least 2 units, and he lives in one of the units while he does the other units. He was an interesting character, and we actually met. So I went out to meet him at his property, which was not too far from here, and he's doing exactly what he said. He's living on one side and he's repairing the other, and then he'll move onto the nice side and repair the other. But he's also looking to pick up another one before he finishes this one, so that's a good thing. He has $300K for his next project right now. Besides what he has tied into the property that he's in now. So that's. Yeah, so I'm already. I actually already started to browse around. I got his criteria, what he's looking for. So I'm trying to find him a property also. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Right.
I have a guy that's looking just in Brooklyn. He wants Brooklyn only, which is one of the 5 boroughs. Manhattan, and then the other 4 boroughs, and that's not exactly my area. But when I was looking at cash buyers, that's actually one of the hottest areas in the metropolitan altogether. Brooklyn itself, as far as cash buyers go, I noticed that they seem to be grouped up over there. I'm not sure why yet, but from some of the research that I followed, that you gave me in the last training, also I was able to figure some of that out. So I guess I have to do that research over again, just to confirm some of what I saw. But
that's good. Good job. Well, I really like how you take action like that. You take massive action and you pretty much did everything that I've taught in the last couple of sessions, from researching on videos to posting on Craigslist to the MOS. That's awesome.
Yeah, I took a lot of notes, and I didn't try to reinvent the wheel, and I gotta admit, a lot of times I do. But this time I didn't, and it seems to have paid off, because I got some good results. So it's definitely a lesson for me.
That's good. Yeah,
I just
not reinventing the wheel is definitely good.
Yeah, I just stuck to the plan and tried and use the information that you gave me to get it done, and I'm actually, amazed myself,
right.
And especially, the agents, they were pretty receptive. Some of them seemed a little secretive, but I was able to speak with them, and especially, a lot of them were in local, not so far. I didn't have to travel too far, but I don't know if that's everywhere, but here, it seemed that every few miles there was another REO agent. I guess maybe because it is a very populated area. I guess
right,
because I don't know, for some reason I thought that there were scarce REO agents. I thought there were, but when I started looking, they seemed to be everywhere.
Right.
At least
definitely.
a lot more than I thought.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of them, no doubt. But all right, well, Carlo, thank you so much, buddy.
No, thank you. This Yeah, this is awesome. I just want
Yeah,
to, thank you and everyone out there. I mean,
there's a
everyone
delay
that was,
here.
everyone there inspired me. I saw how everyone, that's really, you know, between what you gave me and how I saw all the other students reacting, it just made me just want to do it. So, just thanks for this opportunity. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get started with you. I mean, I'm already started with you, but I can't wait to just take it to the next level. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I look forward to that. And yeah, that competition spirit is definitely very healthy for sure. And seeing how other people raise money, I think like even what you have done here, I'm sure that you have inspired a lot of the people on the call right now to go out there and take action and duplicate what you have done here. That's really good. Thank you so much, Carlo.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I did. And one of the students mentioned, us, all, talking or working together somehow. I think that's an awesome idea because I'd love to, share what you taught, you know, and what I've learned and what I will learn.
Okay.
So, yeah, if there's any way.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe on
Sounds
really
good.
news.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yeah, network with each other in millionaires for sure. All right, Carlo, I'm gonna mute you out so I can get another person, and then we'll get our training started here. Okay? Thanks, buddy.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let me see here. Julie, I'll unmute her because she raised $1 million. So we'll see how she did it. Then if we have more time later on, we'll unmute more people. Go from there. Julia, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Mic?
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear you perfectly. Awesome.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
Great. Well, yeah, congratulations. You raised $1 million in private money. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. So if you can share with everybody what city and state are you in, and then also how did you went about raising that money?
I'm in Orange County, California, and
Okay.
how I raised the money. I actually have quite a few connections, and I went to people who own businesses, my past acquaintances, REO clubs, and the ones that I knew that had money. I just asked, well, if I should need money, would you allow me to borrow some of your private money? And I just, started talking, and I said, well, do you have other people that you know that have money that they would be willing to, come into play with me on deals? And they said, oh yeah, sure. So I just got their connections, and I just asked, okay, well, if I were to close on a deal, just give me a round figure of how much you could have and how soon can you get a hold of the money. And so I wrote that down. So it came out to about $1 million. It was like over 40 people, so altogether.
That's good. Wow. Good job. Yeah, I like that a lot. I like how you tap into your network and then tap into the referral, get those people to refer others to you. That's one of the best way to do it. So that's really good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And what about these 8 REO listing agents? How did you found them?
Actually, I had known a couple of REO agents, and it's kind of easy because you just go driving by on a Sunday and go to the open house where it says bank owned, and you just start talking to them. So
Right.
that was too hard on
right,
Sunday.
that is a really good idea. Right, right. Yeah, driving and go to open house is definitely a good idea as well. Good. Well, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this information, and congratulations. You know, with the money that you have lined up, it's gonna make your business so much easier for you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Julie, I'm going to mute you out now. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. So if we have more time, we'll unmute and we'll ask RK and Alan and a few other people who raised some money and see what they say as well. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and proceed with our training now, so that way we have enough time here to cover all the information that we're gonna cover today. So I'm really excited about this today's training, and today's training is on private lenders and private lending and private money. Okay, and so let's start with private lending 101. What is a private lender, right? Or who are private lenders? Private lenders are normal individuals who, you know, who wants to loan money, wants to lend money, you know, on whatever. In our case, it's for real estate, okay? And most of these private lenders are not really in the business of lending money. They just happens to, you know, to lend money on real estate, you know, to make some extra, you know, passive income on the side, but it's not their primary business most of the time. Okay, and you know, and so for example, if you go to your sister or your mom or your uncle and borrow money from them, they are a private lender. If you meet somebody who's a business owner, they have their own business, and they decide to loan money to you, they are a private lender. So they're normal private individuals, just like me and you, that are willing to loan money for these real estate deals that we do. Okay, they are called private lenders. Some of them, a lot of private lenders are lenders who lend out of their self-directed IRA account. So we call them self-directed IRA private lenders. And those lenders are especially good because they have a lot of money. The money is liquid, and they don't need that money. They can't, they don't really utilize that money, or they can't tap into that money until they retired. So so there's a huge amount of money out there in the self-directed IRA that we can tap into, and I'm gonna go more in depth into that and talk about that today. Okay, and then hard money lenders. Hard money lenders are they're kind of like mortgage brokers, but for private lenders. So I'll give you an example, okay, of a hard money lender. So let's say if I'm a hard money lender and I know a lot of private lenders, what I would then do is I would loan you money, but not for my own money. I would loan you money for my private lender's money, and I broker that deal, and I charge you, upfront points for that. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I have a private lender, and I pay to my private lender, 10% interest a year, and I turn around and I loan it to you. Let's say I charge you, 5 points up front, plus I charge you 15% interest, for example. So all of that markup that I do from the upfront charge, as well as the markup on the interest rate, is what I get to keep as my fee as a hard money lender. And the reason why a lot of people use hard money lender is because they are easier to find than private lenders. And and they normally have access to a lot of different private lenders, and so they have access to a lot of money that when you're dealing with the private lenders individually, you might not have have access to as much money as the hard money lenders have. So there are times when it's appropriate to use hard money lenders, but most of the time, if you have access to private lenders, then you would use that. You know, when I first started out my business, I didn't know anything about private lenders, and I didn't know how to raise private lenders. And so in the beginning of my business, I used a lot of hard money lenders. And after that, once I know what I was doing, and know how to know how to find private lenders, my business changed drastically, and I ended up making a lot more money on my real estate deals than I did with hard money lenders, because with private lenders it just cost me so much less. Okay, so that's what private lending is. And you guys are all clear with that? I don't need to explain that, right? I know some of you have some questions. I'm gonna answer your questions when we get to the Q&A session, so I can well, answer the non-related questions, I should say, in the Q&A session. But right now, if you have any questions on private lending, you don't understand it, let me know, okay? All right, so where can you find them? You know, there's many different places you can find these people, but you know, researching at the county clerk record is one way to do that. I'm going to share with you in just a little bit here. Spying on your competitors is another way. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that so you guys can see how this works. And what I'm about to show you is for my is what I use here in Houston. You have to find out you have to find out how you can do it for your own county. Okay, because every county online system is a little bit different, and so you got to find out how it's going to work for you. But everything I'm sharing with you is just as applicable in any county. It's just the system is a little bit different, and so we do things a little bit differently. But it is still very applicable. All right, so here in here in Houston, and you might want to check out this website as well to see if they have it in your area as well. If they have it, then it'll be great. I think they cover like I think they cover 2,000 or 3,000 counties or something. I don't remember how many counties they cover, but they cover quite a bit. Okay, so you go to courthousedirect.com, or you can go to courth.com here. Either way will take you to the same place. Okay, and you go into in my case, I'm going to click on Texas. You know what? Before I do that, I'm going to share with you something. Well, all right, never mind. Let me do it first, and then I'll share with you. And I'm going to click on Harris County here, which is the county that I'm in. Okay. Can you all see my screen okay, right? Okay. And I'm going to click on Grantor Grantee Search. So as I'm going through along, you guys can go to this website and see if they have it in your area. Okay. All right. And so here's what I'm going to do now. I know that because I know that IRAs, self-directed IRAs, is one of the best sources of private lenders in my area for me personally, and so I'm going to find out who have been loaning money out of their IRA accounts. Who have been loaning money out IRA account? I know that here in Houston, there's a company called Intrust, and Intrust is a national company. So they're in a lot more cities than just Houston. I know that Intrust exists here in Houston. I also know that Equity Trust is also a national company that's also very popular as well. And so for today's purpose, I'm going to share with you how to do researches on those two. But if you go on Google and search for IRA custodians, you're going to get some of these returns back. And I found this website here, the first return here, the hardmoneypros.com here. When you click into that, they have a list, and this looks like an older list, but it's a good start that you can use. Okay, you can see here they listed some of the self-directed IRA companies that they know of. So here's one, IRA Resources. In La Jolla, California. Here's a Sterling, Waco, Texas. Here's a just because their office location is there doesn't mean that they only do business there, okay? They can do business nationwide. Here's trust administration services. Here's Equity Trust. This is one of the companies that I told you that's very popular among real estate investors. And I'm not going to go through, well, I guess I'll just, here's Polycomp, Admin Services. Pensco is also another one of the bigger companies as well. Intrust is the other company that I told you about that's very popular here in Houston because they have a location. They have an office here in Houston. So there's a few others here, Guidance, Lincoln, which is now called Fiserv, IAAservices.com here. So many different companies here that you can search. For actually, for today's purpose, I'm just going to search Intrust and Equity Trust so that way you can see how that works, right? And so I'm going to go here, and the way that the deed gets recorded is that the borrower will, when you borrow money, you're going to sign a deed of trust over to the lender. Okay, if you are in a mortgage state, if you're in a mortgage state, then it wouldn't be called a deed of trust. It would call a mortgage. But the concept applies the same. Okay, and so grantor is the person who gives, and grantee is the person who receives. And so in the case of the borrower giving the deed of trust or the mortgage to the lender, then the borrower is the grantor and the lender is the grantee. Understand that? Okay, grantor, grantee. And a deed of trust or mortgage is an instrument that basically allows the it's like a collateral that you put up and allow the lender to get the deed to the property through foreclosure to get the property if you don't make your payments as you have promised. Okay, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to search for Intrust, okay, as a grantee, and the document type that I'm looking for is deed of trust. So they tells you here deed of trust is DT right there. You see that? All right, so that's just the abbreviation. And I'm not going to put any dates here, but you can put dates and limit to just just the last 6 months of the last year if you wanted to. But for the purpose of today, I'm not going to put any dates here, and I'm going to click on search. And it's going to return me every single deed of trust documents that the lender name starts with Intrust, because sometimes they have different spellings, sometimes they have misspellings. And so let's take a look at this. Okay, here's Intrust Development Company. That's not the company we're looking for. Okay. Here's Intrust Financial Corp. That's not the company looking for. Intrust Admin. That's a company we're looking for. Okay. Now let me do this for you real quick. They automatically sort the date from the oldest to the newest. So I'm going to go to page 7 here, and I'm going to go to page 7 here. So that way I can get the more updated ones, okay? Okay. All right, so look at this one, this first one. So we have the grantor, Sean Travis, and the grantee is Intrust Retirement Services, which is the same company as this Intrust Administration here, okay? And so I can see here that that Harmon Clifford is the trustee, and that Brooke Thompson P is the interest client, the IRA that's loaning money to Sean Travis. And I actually know Brooke personally. And so, yeah, so here on July 7th, he loaned money to this Sean Travis person for this property in the Walker's Ridge subdivision, and it gives me even the lot and block. So if I want to pull out this deed of trust to learn more about it, I certainly can use this FIM code to load it up. And this company sells, the way this Courthouse Direct company makes money is they sell these images. Okay. All right. So here's another one. Here's interest retirement services. You don't care about the trustee. Okay. If it ends with TRE, that's trustee. That's not the person you care about. Instead, you care about this I guess you pronounce Etal or Etal, which means and other. So here's Eileen Statlander doing a deed of trust to herself. So I'm not sure what that is, but we're gonna skip that one. We can call her as well. Here is here's Paul Allen, IRA account number 11718-31, loan money to Brent Phillips. Brent Phillips is actually one of the a very active real estate investor here in town. He does a lot of rehabbing, and so that tells me that Paul Allen is a good lender to loan. And I would even search Brent Phillips here, and I'll share with you in a little bit on who are all of the people who have loaned money to him. Okay. Okay, so what I would then do, like in this case, right, I would then go to whitepages.com. Let me do that right now. And I would search for Paul Allen and see if I can find him or not. In Houston, Texas. Are you guys understanding this okay? Okay, is this, you like it? Okay. All right. So they can't find any Paul Allen in Houston, Texas. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's Allen Paul. And maybe it should be one L instead of two L's. Okay, well, here's Alan H. Paul. So this could be that person, okay? So the first name, last name got switched around there. And so I would call this person and ask him, are you the Alan that's within trust? And chances are they'll say yes. I am the Alan with interest, and so you can then you can then say I noticed that that you're a private lender. You loan money out of your IRA account. I'm in the business of buying and selling houses. I'll give you the script in just a little bit here, but I'm just sharing with you how you can do this research and call. You guys like this? All right, good. All right, so I'm gonna so I'll go down. There's a lot more. Here's a Rega Lucette, loan money to Santos Rivera and Ophelia Rivera. Okay. Here's Frank Hall, loan money to Ryan Havens. Yes, and all of this, look, July 2009. Pretty recent, within the last year. These private lenders, these are their IRA accounts, so they loan money all the time. It's not just this year or next year. It's it's every year they loan money. So I can go through each one of this. If I want to go find like really recent one, I'm gonna scroll down here. So here's one that somebody just loaned money on May 14th. So that's only a couple weeks ago, not even a couple weeks ago. James Heed loaned money to Caltex Management Corp. Let me see here. Kevin Torreson loaned money to Mark Pantak, and Mark is another wholesaler here in town, so I know him as well. It's good to know people in your market area so you can study them, okay? Let me see here. Mark King Hardy loaned money to Chris Funk, and Chris is also another top real estate investor here in town. So I certainly can, get money from Mark King here as well. Carl Vallet loaned money to Everett's Rentals, and I know Carl personally. So let me see here. So that's what you would do. You would go through this and go to white pages and find phone numbers for all of these people. And I had my assistant compile this list for me, and she found it was like I know for sure it was over 100 private lenders just from interest alone. Okay, and we haven't even done our search on equity trust yet. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. So let me go back to this search, okay? So once I'm done doing my search with interest, I can then again do my search with equity trust as well, and it works the same way, okay? Equity trust, okay. So, and all of these people, for sure that they are active private lenders that are loaning money right now. Okay. So here's equity trust here. All right, so equity trust doesn't have as much activities as interest does here in the U.S. Here in Houston. They only have 91 records. Earlier, interest had over 600 records. But still, I can still go and find these people. So here's some money they loan to. Look, Heath James. So he has an account with Equity Trust also. And he loaned money to Caltex Management Corporation. Patrice Pike, she had loaned money to me several times before, so I know her. Loaned money to Jose Polera. Here's Damian Frederick Sr. loaned money to I can't pronounce his last name. Gonzalez Cifuentes. I don't know. But look, all of these are in 2010, so very recent people that loan money. And all you have to do again is go to whitepages.com and research for their phone number and call them. Okay. And then earlier I shared with you how to search for private lenders, right? Well, with the IRA accounts here. Now I'm going to search you how to use the county clerks and spy on your competitors. Okay, so I told you that Brant Phillip was one of the person I mentioned, right? And so let me go to back to search here. So I know that Brant Phillip is a active real estate investor here in town. And this system wants you to search by last name first and then first name. And I want to find out who are all of the people that he has signed a deed of trust to. Okay, so Brent Phillip. Earlier we searched grantee for the lender, and now we search grantor for the borrower. Okay, so I'm going to click on search. This is how you spy on your competitors. Okay. I must have misspelled his name or something. Did I spell his name wrong? Let me see. Brant. I think that's how he spelled his name, right? Do you guys remember what was the spelling? If not, I'll just do Chris Funk. Chris. I forgot how to spell Brant's last name. I think it doesn't matter. Chris Funk would be another person that we can. Yeah, I'm doing all of this without logging in. You only need to log in if you're going to buy the images. Okay, if you're not buying images, you do not have to log in. Oh, I think I put. Let me see here. I put it in my search form. Okay. All right. So I show some Christine Funk here. Brenda, I'm looking for Chris. There you go. So he had borrowed money from right here, Ross Russell and Calvin Bearfield, Mark King. Christopher Funk could also be him as well, but this is a normal mortgage, so we're not going to go with that. It's another Chris Funk. Calvin C. Mann Jr. is another lender that he borrowed money from, so we can track down Calvin and borrow money from and find out his phone number as well. Let me see here. It's Midgard Mortgage, so that's a normal loan, so we're not going to worry about that. Let me see here. Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan, John Spear, that's another person he borrowed money from. Okay, so let's go back to search again. Let's do, I think it, oh. I think that was his spelling. Okay, here's Brent Phillips. Okay, so let's go to new ones, new properties. All right, so he borrowed money from Alan Paul. We discovered that earlier, right? He also borrowed, I guess Brian, Alan Paul. He borrowed money from that person a lot. So that person is definitely a good private lender for us to get. Glinda Kittrell, right? That's also another great person that he borrows money from that we can find out. Investor mortgage lending. This must be a hard money lender that he borrowed money from. Okay. And so, you know, and that's his personal name. Okay. I mean, you know, he could also be doing business in his company's name as well. And so we would have to find out what his company's name and do a research on that. So that ends our lesson here. That ends our lessons here on county clerk research and spying on your competitors. Another great resource is networking at the REIA Club. Here are very you know, are the best for information because CPA knows other people. So in her case, you know, she networked with CPAs in the REO clubs. You can network with CPAs in the REIA club, okay? And you know, find out whatever other investor groups there are in your marketplace. Go to them, okay? And network with, you know, everybody that you know, private lenders, you know, hard money lenders, rehabbers, especially rehabbers, because a lot of time, you know, people who fix up houses, they borrow money, they borrow private money to fix up their houses. Meetup.com groups is also another great group. If you guys don't know about Meetup.com, you definitely need to check it out. There's all kinds of groups that you can join and be a part of that have access to a lot of money. Okay, and you can also find real estate investing groups that you can find buyers for in Meetup too. Just for fun, what I did this past weekend, I joined one of the local Meetup groups here in town, here in Houston. And I'll share with you that Meetup group here. Okay, so I joined this Meetup group called the Houston Education and Mentor Group for Real Estate Investors. And then I sent out an email to a few of these people and sent out an email and let them know that I have a property that I'm wholesaling. And they only allow you to send out 12 emails per day on Meetup, but so you can you can go into these people's profile and see if they are. So let me go here. See if they own properties or not. If they own at least one property, they are a good source of buyers for you as well. So let me. So I emailed to a bunch of these people, and let me see who was it that responded to me here. I forgot his name. I think it was Bruce. So let me go to members. Okay. So I emailed to a bunch of these people, and where is Bruce? Bruce, right here, Bruce Crawford. He's the one that replied back to me and said he was interested in my property. And let me see here. Yeah. So let me see. I see myself owning LLC, purchasing property. Okay. Yeah. So so that's what I did. I just emailed to these people, and some of these people, you read their profile, they might also be private lenders as well, and so you just never know. And you can also search for, like, let's say if I search self-directed IRA, let's see if there's any group. There's no group in Houston for self-directed IRA, but there might be. Let me see if there's any group in Texas for self-directed IRA, or just IRA in general. Okay, let me see. I'm surprised that there's no IRA group in Texas, right, in the U.S. Okay. There's Colorado Springs Real Estate Investing Club showed up for that. They have the word IRAs in their thing. And let me see here. Yeah, but so you can do different searches, like business owners, for example, are a great resource for you. Okay. For private lenders as well, and CPA also, right? So look at all of these groups for business owners. So I can join these groups, and I can join all of these groups and deal with that, and see if I can get one of them to be interested in loaning money. I can also join groups that are entrepreneurs, right? I'm just giving you examples here, okay? You guys be creative. Let your imagination go wild, okay? Is there a cost to join Meetup? The answer is no. There's no cost here. Okay. All right. Okay. So if you want to do like REO, right? Let's see if there's any REO group here, like what Julie was doing. Or CPA, right? If I want to network with a lot of different CPAs, okay? Like Houston Commercial Real Estate Meetup, chances are there's a lot of private lenders in there, right? Because people who are into commercial deals, they have more money, and so that would be another resource that you can do. And I'm just searching Houston here. You guys can search wherever you want. All right, Referrals is a great source of place for you to find deals as well. That's how Julie was able, and Julie and Carla, they were both able to raise a lot of private money from referrals. So referrals is a great source. Property management companies is also another great source too. I happen to know a friend who owns a property management company, and I was just talking to him yesterday about talking to him yesterday to see if any of his clients are interested in buying some of our wholesale deals that we have going on right now. And then I talked to him also about this private lending stuff, and he said, yeah, I have clients who are looking for more properties, as well as clients who are liquidating their properties, and they are looking for a place to park their money after they sell their properties. And so a property management company will be a great source for you as well for both private money as well as buyers, whole cash buyers for yourself as well. All right, you can also host the interest here in Houston. Every single month they have different interest meetings for their clients. They're called interest client mixers. And I used to host a lot of their meetings, and that's how I was able to meet a lot of these private lenders. And so I host them at my office. I have a pretty sizable office. And so I would host them. Like the last one we did was about a month ago or 2 months ago. And I forgot how many people was in the room, maybe 40 people or so that was in the room. And so, so it's a great way for me to get access to a lot of private money by hosting these meetings. And so you certainly can do that. And then Tom also mentioned here that you can host your own self-directed IRA groups. You certainly can do that in Meetup, and then when all of those people join, you can talk to them and build relationship with them as well. All right. All right. So here's what to say to people. Okay. Here's the script. So get ready. Write this down. Hi, I'm a real estate investor here in town. Our company buy and wholesale bank-owned properties. We're currently looking for some private money to buy houses, and we'll pay up to 24%. Now, if you are just starting out and you're having a hard time finding private money that will loan you based on interest, you can also offer to partner up with them. So instead of saying that you're looking for private money and you pay up to 24%, you can say we're currently looking for money partners to go in with us on these deals, and we'll split 50-50. So the 24%, the paying them 2% per deal is a lot cheaper than paying them 50% of the deal. Okay, so but you might be in a situation where they don't trust you yet, and so they're not willing to loan money to you, but they are willing to partner up with you because they feel more safe that way, and they'll make more money that way. And so you can make that offer to them as well. Then you can say, do you or someone you know might be interested in learning more about this? Okay, you guys got that? Pretty simple script, right? Can I move to the next slide? Okay. And so you tell them that here's what we do. We buy houses from banks for cheap. Crystal said no. I'm going to leave it up for a few seconds here. Hi, I'm a real estate investor here in town. Our company buy and wholesale bank-owned properties. We're currently looking for some private money to buy houses, and we'll pay up to 24%. Do you or someone you know might be interested in learning more? Okay, very simple script. And then here's what you're going to tell them. Here's what we do. We buy houses from banks for cheap, around 50 to 70% of value. Okay, then we sell it to one of our cash buyers, because the title company won't allow us to buy and sell on the same day. We have to first close with the bank, and then 3 to 7 days later turn around and sell it to our buyer. And the term of the loan will be 2% for 30 days, but most of the time we'll cash you out in about 3 to 7 days. This means that if we use your money for just once per month, you would get 24% return for that for the year. And if we use your money twice per month, you would get 48% for the year. And if they ask you about usury law, let them know that you buy houses under your company's name. Usury law is only for individuals, okay, for personal. But for company, there's no usury law affected by that. Okay, let me see here. And then you also tell them your money is safe because we will not close on the deal unless we have a contract to sell it to our buyer first. Okay, so it's a pretty safe transaction for them. I'm gonna leave this script on a little bit longer for you guys here. Okay, hopefully you've written this down. But everybody got this? Pretty simple. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll email the script to you guys. Okay, so that way you guys would know. I gotta let me make a note to remember to have my assistant, Matt Marvin, do that for me. Okay, so I'll email this out to you guys, and I'll only email to you guys that are on this call right now. Okay, so then for the people who are not on this call, oh well, you're gonna miss out on it. Yeah, we have 107 people on the call right now. That's pretty. We have a full house here. All right, so here's the loan process, and here's what you need to explain to your lender. So make sure you write this one down as well. The loan process. We'll provide you with a CMA report on the property. CMA stands for Comparative Market Analysis, which is the comp reports. Okay. We'll provide you with a detailed repair list and pictures. We'll provide you a copy of the contract between us and the bank, and as well as the contract between us and the buyer. The reason why I put this in parentheses and put recommended is because you are going to have private lenders who trust you enough that you don't need to have a contract between you and a buyer before they fund the deal for you. However, if this is if you're just starting out, I highly suggest for you to only close on deals that you have buyers for. Do not close on deals that you don't have buyers for, because you might end up being stuck with that property. Okay, if you can't find a buyer fast enough, that probably means it's not a good enough deal. All right, let's see here. And so highly recommend for you guys to find the buyers first. At closing, we'll pay the attorney's document charges, including the deed of trust or mortgage if you're in a mortgage state, the promissory note, and other appropriate documents to be filed with the county. You get a first lien position. We'll also provide title insurance as well as property hazard insurance. Okay, so these are these are the process, and it's pretty simple. This is pretty much all you need to tell to your private lenders, and you're good to go. Okay, and I'll also I guess I'll also send out this loan process. I'll also send out this loan process email for you as well. I'm not going to be sending the replay of this webinar out, because what I've noticed is that when I send out the replay, people get dependent on the replay and they don't come onto the call to watch it live. So I'm not going to send out any more replay for today nor tomorrow. Okay, but I will send out this private lender script as well as this loan process script to you guys. So this is pretty much all you need with your private lenders. Got it? Everybody understand this? Pretty easy, huh? All right. All right, y'all. Well, here's your homework. your homework is to find 5 private lenders and actually talk to them. Okay, talk to 5 private lenders, which is very easy to do, and a lot of you have already done it. Okay, a lot of you have already done it, so highly suggest for you guys to do more of it. Okay, and then so you guys got the homework? Pretty easy. Okay. All right, let's get to the Q&A part now. You know, a lot of you have been asking about the mentorship program, and yes, Carlo already won the 6 months mentorship program, and I've also put some thoughts around the mentorship program. I normally charge $15,000 for our apprentice program, but I want to do something special for you guys because I don't have a lot of testimonials for REO deals, because a lot of you guys know me as the virtual the virtual real estate investing guide or the wholesaling guide, and so I wanna help just a few of you, and I'm gonna take only 20 people from this class and work with you for 6 months. Okay. So I'm going to take 20 of you and I'm going to work with you for 6 months, and so it's going to be a first come first serve basis, and you do have to apply for this. You have to apply to get into this program, and basically whoever applies first is hello, testing 1 2 3. Julie said my sound went away. Can you guys hear me okay? All right, awesome. So you do have to apply for this program, and it's a first come first serve basis. And so the first 20 people who apply for this program is the people I'm going to accept into this apprentice program. And this is a 6 months program, and you are going to have to split your deals with me, but I'm going to share with you how pretty much you're going to end up making a lot of money out of this thing. My goal is for you to do a deal a month for the next 6 months, but you only have to split the first 3 deals with me. Okay, and there is going to be there is a fee associated to be a part of this program, but you're going to get your money back from the deal split that we do. Okay, the cost of this program is going to be $1,000 down, $500 a month for 6 months. So that's that would be a total of $4,000. And and the way it works is that on the first 3 deals that we do, we're going to you're gonna get $1,000 back from your tuition costs here, and then we'll split 50-50 on the remaining. So I'll give you an example. On an average deal, we make $10,000, and so out of 10,000, you get 1,000 back, and then we split $99,000. So you end up with 4,500, and I'll end up with 4,500. And then I also have a special price for those of you who want to take advantage of this and get a discount on this by paying in full. You'll get $1,000 discount. So if you want to be a part of this and sign up for this and pay in full, pay up front, your tuition will be only $3,000 and not the $4,000. Okay, and so to go to let me type this out for you here. Okay. So to go to sign up for this or learn more about this apprentice program, go to dodeals.com/REO mentor. Okay. dodeals.com/REO mentor to learn more about it, and it explains out everything regarding what is included in the program. But basically, it's an implementation program, and what that means is that all of the stuff that you've been learning from me for the last week as well as this week, all of the stuff that you've been learning, I'm going to help you and implement every single one of them. And not only I'm going to help you, but my staff, my assistants are also going to help you. I'll give you an example, like oil listing agents. We're going to give you our directory of all of the active oil listing agents for your market area. So whatever your market area is, we're going to give you a whole list of active oil listing agents, their phone number, their name, their email address if we have it, and you can call them, email them. Same thing with the cash buyers. We're going to, we'll find out what market area you're in. We're going to go into our system, get you a list of cash buyers, and then give that to you as well, so you can have access to that. And same thing with this private lenders. How the same kind of research that I'm doing. So we'll find out what market area you're in, and we'll help you do that research. And my virtual assistants, my assistant's gonna help you do that research as well. And so we're gonna work side by side with you and hold your hands pretty much, and implement everything that I'm teaching you. So so not only you're going to be learning along the way of all of these deals that all of these audio deals that we do, and I'll share with you the case studies on each of the deals, how we found it, how we sold it, how we sold it, how we closed on it. But every step of the way, everything that we teach you, I'm not gonna just teach you, but I'm gonna help you to actually implement it. You've been on this call for like 3 times already, and you know how detailed we go into these into doing this. And so this is not any vague stuff, a theoretical how-to stuff. This is actual implementation that you'll be doing. And so so to take advantage of that, go to dodeals.com/audio mentor. Okay, dodeals.com/audio mentor. And and the guarantee is pretty simple. If for any reason, okay, if for any reason you don't like the program, you're not getting the result that you want in the first 30 days, just let us know and we'll refund your entire investment. Okay, and if you stay in when you stay in the game, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna do my best to make sure that you become successful, because I get to make money off of your deals. Remember that. So I'm gonna work extra hard to make sure of that. And if you do stay past 30 days, and for whatever reason you don't do your 6 deals in that 6 months, I'm going to continue to work with you for as long as it takes for you to do your 6 deals. Okay. You should, the way these audio deals work is that the first deal is always the hardest. But once you get the first deal done, these agents gonna love you, and they're gonna bring you a lot more deals, and then the snowball effects will happen. So it's just the first deal that's difficult. Like I have a student, Ronald Hoff. He did 2 deals for the entire year of 2009. And 2010 comes along and he started working with me. He closed on like over 40-something properties in just 2010, and it hasn't been that long ago. The moment, because some of these agents, they don't have just one house, they have packages. Like he bought one for 17 properties. There was so there's a lot of packages that you can do as well, not just in one individual properties. And so the momentum kicks in pretty strong once it does kick in. Okay. Catalina asks, what is an oil deal? REO deal. REO stands for real estate owned, meaning these are bank owned properties that we're talking about. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, so for those of you who are interested, remember you do have to apply for this. So we're not accepting everybody, and we're only gonna take the first 20 to work with us. because certainly my resource is very limited, my time is very limited, and I've never offered a mentoring program for this kind of price before, but I want you guys to take advantage of it and work with me, closely, so I can help you, so I can have a lot of success stories out of you guys. And also my staff's time is very limited, so we're only going to take 20 people for this. And yeah, and so just go to dodeals.com/audio mentor. All right, so now I'm going to go through and answer all of your questions here. Caller asks, do we need an LLC to do these deals? Do we need an LLC to do these deals? You don't need an LLC to do these deals. However, it's beneficial for you to have an LLC or a corporation to do this deal, so that way when the private lenders are loaning money to you, they don't have to they don't have to worry about the usury law. But you certainly don't need to. Okay, if you're gonna close, if you don't do double closing and you're not using private money, I'm gonna teach you about how to close, whether you're doing single closing by selling your land trust, selling a DBA, selling an LLC, or by double closing with private money. Then that's when you need an LLC. But if you're only doing single closing, then the answer is no, you don't need to. Julie asked, how long do we have to get the money? I need to borrow the money. Well, Julie, like I said, it's a first come first serve basis, and so whenever the first 20 people, once we accept 20 people from this class, then we're gonna close it out. And so, yeah, I guess you can follow up with us tomorrow and on Thursday. And on Thursday, I'll tell you guys if we have any spaces available left as well. Okay. All right. Caller said, "I'm ready. I want to keep this momentum." Good job, caller. Yeah, definitely. You are. Especially all of you. From what you've learned so far, definitely keep the momentum going, and keep the momentum going. And for those of you who have been doing your homework, man, you're gonna blow this thing up because of the way you've been taking action already. You're gonna get started, and we're gonna take even more action, and you're definitely gonna love it. Okay. Roland asked, what is a realistic time frame to do my first deal under this program? It depends on you, Roland. If you have not been doing your homework, then chances are it's gonna take you longer to do your first deal. For the folks that have been doing the homework, chances are they're probably gonna do their first deal in the first 30 days. So it has everything to do whether or not you're, how much of an action taker you are. The more of an action taker you are, the more of an action taker you are, the faster you're gonna get success from this program. Brenda said, "Tim, out of all the real estate gurus, you have been the one who has talked good sense and gave a plan. I love you." Thank you, Brenda. I love you too. All right. Shazeb said, if we don't have any cash and partner up with a private lender, would they be willing to pay the earnest money too? If you partner up with them as a deal, as a deal split partner, where you can split the profit with them, then you can use their earnest money, or you can also use your buyer's earnest money. We have done that many, many times. So what we do is we get a property under contract, and we normally have a day to 2 days to get our earnest money. Yeah, and sometimes we even have a week, and sometimes they never even ask about earnest money. So it depends, but you normally have at least a couple, 1 to 2 days to get your earnest money. And so if you have been doing your homework and talk to your cash buyers and building up your cash buyers list, you would have this house sold in less than 24 hours. And then you use your buyer's earnest money to put as the earnest money for your REO deals. And we have done that. So what we do is we go to our buyers, ask them for $2,000 to $3,000 in earnest money, I would give 1,000 of it to the bank's title company or the bank's real estate agent. Okay, let me see. Krista said, I had the REO listing agent to pull a report for me of all closed cash deals within 120 days, but was not able to get the cash buyer's info. What do I do? You need to search the county clerk's office. I mean, not county clerk, county appraisal district for the name of the owner to see who the owner is. And so that's how you're gonna find their name, and then you go to whitepages.com to look for their phone number. If that still doesn't work, you can go to the house itself. You can go to the house and see if they bought it in the last 120 days. Chances are they're either fixing up the property, trying to sell it, or trying to rent it. But somebody's there, or there's a sign there with a phone number that you can go to. So you just drive to that house and find them. Okay. For those of you who asked questions earlier, and if for whatever reason I have not answered your question, then go ahead and repaste your question for me to answer, okay? Carol asked, what time will the webinar ID begin? The webinar started at 7 p.m. Central already, Carol. So we are actually toward the end of the webinar now. Okay, let me see here. If I miss your questions, go ahead and paste it, okay? Ted asked, how do I apply? Go to dodeals.com/REO mentor. Let me see here. Okay. David said, I will split the deals with you 60-40 or 70-30. If I had the funds right now, I would jump on this. For those of you who are, lack of funds, what you want to do is you want to start finding your private lenders now. And perhaps you can even find a private lenders that would be willing to partner up with you to go into this program. So let's say they're gonna loan you this $3,000 to get into this program, and they are gonna get 50% of whatever you make for the next, however many deals that you're gonna do, or for this entire year even. So they partner up with you, or however you want to do it, or however you can, do it. You certainly can do that as well. It's a great way to get your tuition paid for, and you have a partner to learn the steps along. So it's a good idea, a good way to raise money. You can go sell something, right? One of the things that my nephew, I taught my nephew to mow lawns, and so that way whenever he wants clothes or wants games or whatever he wants, he's able to pay for it himself. And I teach my kids the same thing. So like whenever I ask Tyler, so how do you make money? He'll list me a list of things. He'll list me like, sell lemonade, sell cupcakes, sell cookies, and, different stuff like that he can do to make money. Okay. Did I miss any questions? Let me see here. Larry said, I just ordered online. When should I expect contact from you or one of your staff? Larry, I will be contacting you, and so chances are I'll contact you tomorrow. And yeah, so all of you who order, you're gonna get personal contact with me, because I want to understand you and your market really well, so I can know exactly how to best help you. Tom said, this is a lot of lawns, but it is a long weekend. Yes, it is a lot of lawn, no doubt about it. Okay. Carla said, my county is not on the internet yet, and that's fine. You can go down to the county to do this research as well if they're not online. That just means that you probably don't have as much competition because it's, a lot of investors won't go to that extent to go down to the county clerk's office to do that research. Okay. Bobby asked, Tim, can you email the postcards also? Yeah, I'll email you guys the postcards as well. I forgot to give the postcard to my assistant to. You might actually check in the members area. Go to bonus. There's a bonus link on top and see if it's there. It might already be there, but the other day I forgot to. Let me log in here. All right. Well, actually, I just email it to you guys. Okay. Let me see here. Edwin said, Tim, by being a member, will you still assist us in our deals? I mean, I'll still answer any questions that you guys might have in the hotline. So yeah, I mean, if you're a Gold Plus member on up, Gold Plus or Platinum member on up, you certainly can get can ask me questions through the hotline, but it won't be this kind of training and this kind of this kind of hand holding and help you implement this program. Let me see here. RC said, when we contact these private lenders after the interest search, for example, from your experience, would they have money just waiting for somebody to ask for it, or how does it work? Most of these IRA people still have money in their account to loan, and so I would just ask them, well, how much money do you have to loan out, and they'll tell you. Most of them do. Sometimes you run across people who have loaned it all out, and so they don't have any more money to loan, but most of them do. Crystal asked, can you make an exception and send this replay, please? Well, I'm just going to send you the script. Like I said, we sent the replay for the last couple of times, and less people show up for this, so I'm just going to stick with my my judgment from the beginning that I said I won't send out any replays. So I'm not going to send out replays for the next couple of calls. Okay, let me see. Samuel said, you gave a lot of info for using courtage.com. Are we able to have the process for finding private lenders? I'm not sure what you mean, because I taught you how to find private lenders from that website already. Is that what you mean? Did I misunderstood something? Okay. Joel asked, what is the best time period to pick up REOs deals 30 days old, 60 days, etc.? Well, the best time is before they get listed on the MLS, and that requires for you to have a relationship with an REO agent that will give you their pre-list, is what they call them. Okay, and after that, then the longer it is on the market, then the better. So either very early, like the day either before it gets on the market, or the day that it gets on the market, or the longer it's on the market, the better. Okay? Like past 30 days, 60 days, past 150 days. If it passed 6 months, there's a lot of good deals in that. RC asked, do you have plans to mentor again after the first 20? I don't have any plans for that. I might, but it certainly wouldn't be at that price. I could tell you that, because I mean, it's this is kind of like a beta test for me to work with a small group of students so I can get a lot of testimonials for these REO deals. And so this is actually my first time teaching REOs to I guess normal students. Normally I only teach this REO class to my apprentice students. People paid $15,000 for to be in the apprentice program. Let me see here. Booker said, Tim, don't most banks want closed market value for their properties? No, that's untrue, Booker. Not in today's market, anyways. And yes, a lot of banks do want more for their property, but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of banks out there. It depends on the property too. The more repairs the property needs, the less close to the market that they would want. So typically the deals that we get, they need some repairs. Ted asked, can you also send us the websites you talk about? Which websites you talking about? Like the CourtH. I talked about only a few websites today. The CourtH.com, the Meetup.com, and I think that was it, right? Oh, whitepages.com. Tom, let me see. Tom said CourtH site upper right member login has available counties link that shows available states. Looks like every state. Yeah, they're in a lot of different places, but I don't think they're in all counties across the U.S. Gary said, if I have several investors pooled together on a house, how can I say they are all in the first position? If you have several of them, then you would go into that deal on a partnership instead of lenders and having liens. Okay? So everybody pull in on a partnership deal, and the agreement is that they would get 2% of what they what they put in. Yolanda asked, do they wire when ready, or you call them at closing? They will either wire the money in on the day of closing. Well, most of the time they will wire money in. You will have some private lenders that will bring cashier's check in. I have private lenders who don't like who don't like to wire money in, so they like to come to closing and give the money. That's just how they are, and so you certainly can do that. Let me reply to Alan real quick here. For those for those of you who want to send in a check instead of using a credit card, you can send it to our address there that I just sent to all of you, that I messaged to all of you there. All right, let me see here. Dan asked, are you starting earlier? I thought this was scheduled for 6 p.m. Pacific. It appears that you have started earlier both today and last Thursday. It's 7 p.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. 7 p.m. Central, which is 5 p.m. Pacific, not 6 p.m. Pacific, okay? 5 p.m. Pacific. I guess that would be 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Tom asked, but you have to be here to get the replay while less people show up, because they show up and then they leave. They don't stay the whole way, Tom. And so like our calls drop, you know, the number of attendees drop. Yeah, every time I announce that I'll send out the replay, the number of attendees drop a lot. Okay. Edwin asked, is it against the law to go outside of your state to get private lenders, RIA lenders? The answer is no, it's not against the law. You can get private lenders anywhere. Carlo asks, when making offers on these RIOs, can we choose the title company? I have a relationship with a real estate agent, attorney, title agent. No, you cannot choose the title company. You have to use the bank's title company. They won't do it any other way. Tom, are you a comedian, dude? Oh, man. Let me see here. Okay, Samuel said, you show us how to do a Google search for the IRA custodian, the process finding grantors and grantees. I missed some of the steps. Well, basically, I'll repeat it. Number one, you can just start with interest and equity trust. You know, until you've if you don't know any other IRA custodians, and and search under grantee and put in the name of interest or whatever the name of the IRA custodian is, and select the deed of trust or the mortgage as the document type that you want. That's pretty much it. Let me see here. Alan said, Tim, I just did an appraisal and there were 2 RIO comp in development. They were asking 20 to 30,000 below arm's length deals. That's good. Do you know what the value is on those? 20, 30,000 below. Let me see here. What's the percentage, you know, because a lot of our buyers, they buy based on percentage. So like they'll buy it for, like a lot of landlords, they'll buy it for 75% of the value minus the repairs. Right, Edwin said, so it's our best interest to get IRA lenders to loan us $4,000 to pay you to split 50-50 wholesale deals the next 6 months and prorate the $4,000 in those 6 deals. You can do that. I mean, you can structure however you want with your partners there, I guess, with your private lenders there. It's up to you. Okay, Carla said, did I understand it correctly that in the mentor program you will give us RIO agents, cash buyers, and private lenders, and a guarantee for 6 deals? Count me in. And thank you for the hand holding. It was fun till now, but it will be even better when we make money. That is correct. and yeah, Carla, we're gonna help you. You know, you have to understand that in your market area, we don't have relationship with these RIO agents and cash buyers and private lenders. You will have to build that relationship yourself. But we're gonna help you get their contact information and stuff like that for you to start building relationship with them. Let me see here, call. Okay. Joe asks, doing RIOs out of state, do you recommend having someone get the lockbox number to see it, or it doesn't matter, just flip it sight unseen, Joe? It's better if you can see the property. If not, then yeah, you do need somebody to see it, because you need to know what are all of the repairs. You know, you don't want to make an offer on a property that you don't know the repairs on. And so either you see it or somebody see it and take a lot of pictures for you, so you know exactly what are all the repairs and that are needed, so you can make your offers accordingly. Mark asks, why not send replay to those who stayed until the end? Because, Mark, I have no idea who stayed until the end and who's not. It's kind of tough. The software doesn't allow me to see that. All right, Brenda asks, Brenda mentioned, tell them to click on their time zone when going to apply for the class session to see the correct time zone for their class. It's on the screen before they click on the sign up for class. Thank you for mentioning that. So change your time zone on the time clock before clicking on sign up for class. Okay. Alan said, Tim, I will fill out the form. Will you get it? If I send a check, yes, I will get your form, Alan. Okay, let me see here. Alan said came in at 580,000, no repairs. Well, if it's only 580,000, then 20 to $30,000 less than that is not a good enough deal for us to do. We need a lot more margin than that. And that 580,000, we probably, and no repairs, there might not be enough margin for us to sell to an investor. And so yeah, we want properties that that investors will buy. Ted said, which is the best order? Get cash buyers first, 2, get lenders, or 3, get REOs? You got the orders correctly, Ted. Number 1 is to get the cash buyers. Number 2 is to get the lenders. Number 3 is get the REO. Well, you can. I mean, a lot of this you can do it simultaneously. Really, that's what we do. We'll start building relationship with the agents at the same time. Looking for cash buyers at the same time, building a relation with lenders. But I guess if I have to, if you must do it in a specific order, then I would do it in this order. I would get the cash buyers first, get the REOs, and get the lenders. Okay, because the truth is you can do these deals without ever needing lenders at all. Okay, it just makes it easier if you have them, but it's not a requirement. Nam asks, have you used list source and RealQuest for cash buyers list and seller list? I have bought lists. I have bought lists from different list companies, not necessarily list source. List source and RealQuest are not the only people who sell lists out there. There's a lot of people who sell lists out there. I think I bought lists from RealQuest, but not from list source yet. I bought lists from other list sources as well. And those cash buyers lists that they have, it's okay. It's not as good as the one that the cash buyers list is not as good as the one that Kent Clothier has. His list comes from a different source, I guess, and they are much better qualified. They are a much better cash buyer list. Let's see here. Noosh said at the end, have everyone who is still online send an email to a designated email address with "I was on" the subject line. Man, that's too much work for us. I'll think about it. But yeah. All right. Let me see here. Denise said, Tim, I've heard that banks typically will not take offer less than 20% below listing. I'm not sure if that is true, but can you quickly review your rough formula for making an offer? Is it like a typical ARV minus repairs minus profit margin, or other way that we can that can be a guide to me and be realistic for having a good chance of having a decent portion of my offers accepted? Denise, number one, their list price is not the value, okay? There's a lot of banks out there that list properties much, much less than, I'll give you an example. Another offer that we just got accepted, the value of the property is close to $100,000, and the list price was only $59,900. The house needs some repairs. The house needs about $12,000, $10,000 to $12,000 in repairs. Okay, and so in that particular case, we made them an offer. We made them an offer for I think it was I forgot because my partner Ray is the one that makes an offer on it. I forgot what was the offer. I think we made an offer for either 52 or 57. I don't remember the exact number. Okay, but yeah, and we got our offer accepted, and so I think it was 52,000. We're selling it. Yeah, so we made an offer for 52,000. We got it accepted, and so our offer price is not a lot less than what their listing price is, because their listing price was already a lot less than what the value of the property is. But yeah, like for us, we know that our buyers will pay us 75% of ARV minus repairs, and so knowing those numbers, we can, so I'll give you an example. So let's say the value of this property is 100,000. Okay, 100,000, and I know that my buyers will pay me 75% because they're landlord buyers, and let's say the repairs on this house is 12,000. Okay, then that means I know that our landlord buyer will pay $63,000 for this property that we just get, that, which is actually our asking price right now, that we just got accepted, and our contract is $52,000 on it. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Tom said, creative real estate equals trying to figure out how to get a replay from Tim. It's just too funny. All right. Catalina said, Tim, do you think for bank-owned property need a real estate attorney for closing? All of the banks will want to close at a title company or an attorney's office of their choosing. So we don't get to pick that. They pick that. And so we go with whatever company that they pick, okay? And so, yeah, so so they do pick that, okay? And sometimes it's a local company, and sometimes it's an out-of-town company. All right, y'all. Well, it's 9:05 my time already, and I have been answering a lot of questions already. Thank you so much, y'all, for staying on until the end here. I appreciate you greatly. For those of you who want to go ahead and join me, and be a part of this mentorship program that we're kicking off here, and we're gonna kick off the program next week. Okay, next Tuesday is going to be the first class for the program, and so and so I'm really excited about that. And so for those of you who are ready to ready and want to be a part of it, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to making a lot of money with you. Go to judeals.com/audio mentor, judeals.com/audio mentor, and I look forward to working with you. Okay, all right, okay, everybody. Well, you have a great day, and let me see here. You guys can see my background? How you see that? I thought I had my presentation on. All right. Oh, that background, those pictures, I see. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. See you on Thursday. Okay, we're gonna talk about deal structuring and closing on Thursday. Thursday is a very important lesson that you're gonna be learning, and so make sure you come on Thursday. Everybody, good night. You have a great one. Bye.